We're here at the Sammons Center for the Arts with pianist and composer Rebecca Cordes. Thank you so much for being a part of our series. I guess the first question I'd ask is, when did you start learning how to play?
I don't ever remember not playing, so okay. I think we had a piano in our home and my mom played, so I think the story is when I was 3 or so, I started playing, so 40 years now.
All right, that sounds good. When was your first formal lesson?
Well, my mom taught me for a while, but we fought a lot because of that, so then she found another teacher. I was probably 6, maybe 6 or 7, and I started learning to play by ear, but then once I started lessons, it was all reading, and so I didn't come back to playing by ear again until I started to pursue playing jazz.
Well, who's a musician you love to collaborate with? Anyone?
Oh, wow. My best friend from college years, her name is Jolene Wilkinson. She lives in New York City, so we've collaborated now for 25 years or so. So, you have a connection with that person. And then there's one other person, Stephen Leinert, who is a vibraphone player. Okay. He currently lives in Chicago, and he's another person I feel that connection with.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Well, I know that you are not originally from this area, even Texas, but what do you love about Dallas?
Well, I'm from York, Nebraska, which is a small town of 8,000 people in the middle of a county of cornfields. Yeah. I moved here to Dallas about 20 years ago, and it's really the jazz scene and the musicians that have made it feel like home.
Okay. What about the weather? You like the weather here better?
Most of the time. I mean, now I'm acclimated, so I don't miss like shoveling feet of snow, but around August 15th or so, I'm wishing for, cooler climates, that's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do to challenge yourself?
Well, I mean, I think musically, my goal is to never have my limitations as a musician dictate what music I can play. So sometimes that, maybe I have room to grow in a certain genre to be able to execute it, but I don't ever want to just say, if it's something that I want to do, something that I feel a connection to, say, oh, I can't do that because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So I would say that's how I try to challenge myself, is to seek out or just working at the style that I need to be able to present the music and interpret it, and if it's something that I feel like is meaningful to me. Because I feel like if it's meaningful to me, that will be meaningful to the listener. Right. So I have to do my work to make that happen.
What's one thing most people would be surprised to know about you?
Oh. You should probably ask my husband that, because he's the one who, I think I'm just goofy silly when, I'm by myself or with him, and he gets the brunt of it.
Yeah, okay. Who had an influencing role in your music education?
Oh, well, first...
I know you mentioned your mom.
Yes. So probably starting there, and then we moved to York when I was 10, and I had a wonderful teacher there named Jan Welch. And then my college teacher, Chaling Lin is her name. She was at Drake University in Des Moines, and now she lives in New Jersey, just outside of New York City. Okay. Dr. Chaling Lin now. Mm-hmm. And then you have given me so much from your mentorship.
Well, you're very kind. You're making me, you can't see me, but I'm blushing now. Well, when do you feel most creative?
When I have a whole empty day. Yeah. Because then I can just let it go. I can go for a walk with my dogs and let everything bounce around in my head and then come back. And oftentimes that's when I hear something. Sometimes the music is a concept, but you have to let it become sound. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's when you're not paying as close attention or trying as hard. So having an open slice of the day provides that time for it to marinate a little bit.
What's your favorite band or record or song?
I'd have to say first anything that Gene Harris plays, and then Bill Evans as well. And my favorite song, I can't narrow that down. I mean, I also love every Mozart opera. There's just something so timeless about them. So I'm sorry, I'm not answering that question very, very well.
What's your most memorable performance?
Oh, well, I think, believe it or not, I was a young kid, I guess a middle schooler, and I was performing in a competition. I had heard other people warming up, and I thought they were so much more skilled than I was.
Mm-hmm.
But I just decided to go and just play for me and not worry about if it was good or not. And I ended up winning the competition.
Okay.
And it surprised me, but I think it was because the music really connected to the people who were making that decision, I guess.
Okay.
And so in some ways, like, that was a fundamental realization,
Yeah.
that has influenced things going forward.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking a part of our interview series, Take 6, and we're so looking forward to your performance here tonight at Sammons Jazz. So
Thank you for having me.